I buy it all digitally now. I buy everything digitally. I buy my games digitally. I buy my music digitally. I buy my movies digitally. It's all digital.
I don't buy strictly digital. I buy the Blu-ray that comes with a digital copy. Because here's the problem, bro.
What?
What happens? Like you got all your movies in one location, right?
Sure. Yeah, I have them on iTunes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And iTunes is probably a better deal, but a lot of people are buying, and they're buying their stuff like Amazon Prime and a few other
Sure. Yeah.
stuff. But what happens when those guys, if something, they should just go bankrupt? You just lose all that stuff if they close their doors tomorrow?
I mean, see, that is a good question. I don't know how that would work.
I don't know how it works either, and that's why I said, no, I'll buy the Blu-rays with the digital copies. Because it would suck one day to find out you got a $300 movie collection that's gone.
That's a good question. I'm going to Google something real quick. What happens to my music if iTunes goes bankrupt?
I don't even know if you'll find an answer because I don't know that anyone's actually done that yet.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like, that's a good question. Like,
but it's going to happen one day.
The odds of it happening are eventually are high, but is that could actually be a lifetime.
Like I have, what is it? My Movies Anywhere, because it consolidates a bunch of different sites. So if you got movies on Amazon or iTunes or all these other places, you can consolidate them all to that site and access them all through it. But if that site was gone tomorrow, because some of those, like the Marvel movies, are all just you get them only through that site.
Well, there you go.
So if that was gone tomorrow, what would happen?
Well, here's an answer for you. So iTunes, I'm just using iTunes as an example, and we can pretty much guess that, Steam or Amazon would all be the same. This is what their thing says. It's part of their terms of service for iTunes. You acknowledge that some aspect of the service, products, or administering of the usage rules entails the ongoing development of Apple. Accordingly, in the event that Apple changes any part of the service or discontinues the service, which Apple may do at its election, you acknowledge that you may no longer be able to use products to the same extent as prior to such change or discontinuation, and that Apple shall have no liability to you in such case. I mean, that makes sense. That's the ultimate, like, if the service closed down, what happens to my stuff? Well, obviously you can't use it. And that's, I mean, when you think about it, it's obvious, but you would like to think that there's some sort of backup, but I guarantee you everybody else has the same terms of service.
They do, and here's probably more likely what's going to happen is when one of these companies do, and it's not going to be iTunes or Amazon or Steam because these are big companies.
Well, sure, but they can get down too.
But when one of these companies go down, people are going to get screwed.
Yeah.
And somebody's going to sweep in and buy all that out, and they're going to say, look, if we're a Special Pops member, you can bring your account over here and we'll honor what you had. And they're going to pick up that business, and then everybody will then start changing, because if they don't change, they're going to lose business. People are going to quit buying downloads, and they're going to have to suddenly, to get you to buy downloads, they're going to have to suddenly market this change in policy.
Yeah, but how many people actually think about that? I've never
They
actually
don't.
thought about it.
They won't think about it until it happens to them. And then when it happens and it hits the news, that's when everybody's going to go, well, I ain't buying downloads anymore.
Yeah, the entire market, at least that particular market,
It'll
will
start to
crash.
Yep, exactly. And then they'll have to address it and use that as a market strategy. But somebody, well, a whole lot of somebodies are going to get screwed.
That may never happen.
They get it fixed.
Yeah, that may not even happen. Like, you think about like how many businesses have been around for hundreds of years. Like, I'm sure
yes,
they've gone through
away too.
Sure, I'm not saying it's not possible, but you talk about like big behemoths like Apple, Amazon, like the businesses that have gone away, like how many of them were huge? Like I've never, like, for example, you think of, like, to me, the most recent, like, I'd say corporation that I can think of that was on scale big that has closed down in recent history, to me, is Radio Shack. And at no point in time have I ever thought Radio Shack was as big as Apple or whatever company owns Radio Shack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or like Blockbusters, but those are industries.
Toys R Us.
Well, yeah, but those are all industries that haven't innovated. Now, obviously, you know, what was to innovate back then with toys or rental movies or whatever? There was nothing digital. Now we have something digital, and that innovation is what drove away those businesses. Well, I can't imagine what the next step over digital is. I can't even think of it. So the idea that Steam or Apple will go out of business because of, at least the biggest threat would be innovation. I can't see it.
I don't see the big guys going out, but I can see some smaller ones, and actually probably more likely what they would do is they would try to merge with a bigger company. Before dying out, or they would just sell out to the bigger company before.
Exactly, and that's probably what what would happen. There's a big company, and they would just merge the business. But man, if iTunes goes down, like, what the hell happened? They get so much business.
It's good to know that if anything does happen, you are screwed.
That's fine. Here's the thing.
But I would expect that you to be screwed.
Yeah, I would too. I mean, I'm not surprised.
Contracts are never in your favor.
No, you are correct. But I mean, here's the thing: like, the world state that would have to be in, like, at this point, if iTunes says, "Man, we're closing down all your stuff and you lose all your music," I think I would be fine with that. Like, I wouldn't be super angry. I think I'd be disappointed that I'd lose a few of my books, my audiobooks, but like all my music, I could give a shit less. And that's like hundreds of dollars I've spent on there.
Yeah, but you go onto YouTube and get all that music right back.
Well, you can at least listen to it. Yeah, especially, yeah. Like Steam, I would be a little bit more upset, but how many games do I... Hey, let's just put this into perspective. I own 145 games on Steam digitally. That's a shit ton of games. I only have 21 of them installed. And out of these 21s, which ones do I play? I don't play Brawlhalla. I don't play Conan Exiles. I don't play Dark Souls 3. I don't play Divinity. I don't play EVE Online. I don't play Grand Theft Auto. There's a lot...
It's not about what you play. It's the fact that you paid for it.
But here's the thing, those items only have value because they don't have no value. I can't sell these, so they have no value. So if it goes away, it's an inconvenience because I can't play that game anymore.
Yeah.
Now what would piss me off more is if, say, like Magic the Gathering went underwater. Because, like, I've invested a lot of money into Magic the Gathering. I think more so than any single investment outside of my house is my Magic the Gathering collection. So if Magic the Gathering was like, that's it, we're done, I would be pissed. Because that would be a $10,000 investment out the ass. My collection, my cube, is worth almost 10 G's.
Now, I'm going to continue to stick with...
But it's physical. But that's just talking about like physical. That's just talking about businesses in general going out. I think we've started rambling on for quite some time.
Yeah.
I don't even know how geeky this was, but I appreciate everybody who has come to listen. And we will continue this next time. Thank you so much. Take it easy, Mr. Flynn.
Take care, guys.
Bye.